Hello everyone, this is day 8 of our 21-day lead generation initiative. We don't really have a name for it. 21 days to better leads, 21 days to more leads. Maybe 21 days to more leads, probably because of the fact that we are providing you with tips that can help you generate more leads, right? So this is day 8, and the last 2 days we've talked about the 2 types of visitors that will be visiting your website. So the day before yesterday we said that there will be a handful of people who come to your site who's got intent, who would potentially be ready to take the next step in making that purchase. So they've done their research and they basically just confirming the price or confirming that your product is the one or service is the one that they want. Right, but then there's this whole group of individuals or visitors that would be considered your non-buyers, people who are just doing research, they're just gathering information, they're just browsing, they're just looking at the costs, doing comparisons, gathering what they can in order to ensure that they make the right decision. So yesterday we said, as opposed to just letting these guys drop off and technically having paid for that traffic and not getting anything in return for it, because in some way, shape or form, you've paid for this traffic, right? If you've done SEO manually, then you've invested your own time. If you've paid for SEO, then you've invested your money. And if you're running pay-per-click ads, then obviously you're spending money in order to drive that traffic. So you want to do what you can to ensure that you get something out of it. And that is what we call the lead nurturing process, where we then do that value exchange, where someone leaves their details in exchange for value so that you can start building your brand as a thought leader under that specific user or individual, position your brand accordingly, build credibility and trust, and everything else that comes with it. Right. So today I want to talk about what types of value you can, the different various forms and formats that you can actually use on your website to convert, a portion of that 95% into leads. Not buyers, just people looking for more information. So you're going to get some value out of it on your end. So it's a win for you and it's a win for obviously the visitor, because they're getting value in the form of, insights, which we're going to discuss right now. And you're getting their personal contact details, and you can start the lead nurturing process. Okay, and which we're going to talk about, by the way. So we call it lead magnets because it's technically a magnet that attracts people into becoming leads. So if we have to look at the different kinds of lead magnets that you can run, before I dig into the different various lead magnets, it's very crucial to understand that it always needs to be contextual to why people are visiting or your website, okay? Because you don't want to be a car website and then have someone download an ebook about how to grow a garden in your backyard, or how to ensure, how to do your finances better, or how to manage your finances better so you can afford this car. Like, that is a bit far-fetched. I mean, maybe some people will download that, but you want to ensure that it's 100% contextual, right? So, for example, if someone is visiting your health fitness website, maybe your supplement store, you want to, if they're not ready to buy the product, in some way, shape, or form, you can be contextual by offering them a free workout plan or free meal plan. That's some way of that you can add value in the meantime while they make up their mind whether the product or service is for them. And obviously in the lead nurturing process, you can educate them. And we're going to talk about what you can do, in this lead nurturing process. So 100%, it needs to be contextual. Otherwise, this whole process will fail. And a lot of people won't convert into leads because they're not really interested in the value exchange. So let's look at the different types of lead magnets out there. I'm going to start with my favorite one, and I think it's most marketers' favorite one, and that is just the normal traditional ebook, right? So a lot of marketers will do like a 20, 30-page ebook on, and provide you with some insights. But what I found is a lot of times that's just an article repurposed in basically a normal PDF, which is a bit, to an extent, probably not as valuable as you would like. So what we've done as an agency, we've done a 192-page book, which we converted into an e-version. We spend a fortune on the ghostwriters and publishers and everything. So we're doing a hard copy of this. But now with COVID, obviously, we're waiting on that hard copy and everything has come to an halt. But what we're doing is it's a 192-page e-version of our book, and you can get it for free. And we teach you everything you need to know about online marketing to some extent, like very top level, but like we teach you the insights. And what we run over is like social media marketing, organic search, paid search. We talk about, email marketing, chatbot marketing, like literally all kinds of marketing for your business. And that's our way of establishing ourselves as a thought leader, build trust and credibility, and so forth. And so that's one thing, is the ebook. But on top of that, it's also another favorite is, in my opinion at least, because it's industry related, would be reports. Like, I love reports because of the fact that I'm always keen to know what's happening in the industry, the sentiment of the industry, the sentiment of a specific strategy or, type of marketing or whatever it is. Like, I'm always looking to find out what's new and what's cooking and what's happening, right? So industry reports are really, really awesome. Ebooks, reports, remember those. Then, I mean, thirdly, I think quizzes. Quizzes are quite popular. It's about doing a personality test to see what product or service, what product would fit your personality best. What service might fit your needs the best. Like, we had a quiz run for our agency where we said, do you really need a marketing agency? And a lot of people, I think, are on the fence and they're like, I don't know. So we actually did a full quiz that said, do you really need a marketing agency? Well, let's find out. And we basically did a quiz and we asked like 10 questions, and if you didn't need one, and we feel you didn't need one, we honestly tell you. We said, look, we don't think that you're ready to work with a marketing agency, and here's why. But for the ones that were, we just started the lead nurturing process and we can convert them into potential clients. So quizzes work like a bomb. A test to find out what products will suit your needs the best, and then you show them afterwards. And now they're just more inclined to actually buy that combination, right? So lead magnets in the form of ebooks, reports, quizzes, and then I have to say checklists. I like checklists a lot because of the fact that it's a lot of information that you sometimes need to remember or retain, and it just becomes difficult. So there's like 20 things that can help you become a better copywriter. It's nice to just have a checklist so that you can remember all of them, right? So you just, with one glance, you remember all of them, and every time you write copy, you kind of like tick off what you've implemented and what you haven't implemented. 20 tips to better SEO, building a better website, just a normal checklist. 20 things you need to know to eat better. It could be for any industry, really. It doesn't necessarily have to be for B2B or the marketing industry. It could be consumer facing as well. On top of that, I also think like free trials. If you have a software service, then free trials are amazing. People get a taste of the service before they have to commit to it. Maybe you can even do, if you're consumer facing, maybe a test of the product. Maybe just pay for shipping. We'll send you some samples. And you can try it out and let us know what you think. So there's about 5 things. On top of that, any types of tools, anything that they can use to achieve the goal and the purpose behind visiting your website. So a lot of companies do calculators. A lot of companies do like, let's calculate how much, like I've seen app development companies do this quite often. Like, how much will it cost to build an app? So they would say, like, what kind of app do you have in mind? So it's like a quick, instant, free quote. So it's like, what kind of app do you want? Does it have to be for Apple, Android, or both? Is it going to be this type of app? Is it going to be that type of app? Do you want 2 screens or 3 screens? Do you want to do calculations in the app? Do you want the app to send people emails or notifications? Do you want the app to have GPS locations? And before you know it, the person has filled in like 20 questions about this app, and they get an instant quote with a call 10 minutes later to say, hey, we noticed that you inquired, like we were hoping that we can cut that cost for you to some extent if you sign on for the app for the next week or whatever it may be. Maybe we can really get to know the app a little better so we can do a quote. So that person now just became a lead and a potential client. And so I mean, there's so many things that you can play around with. I mean, we've already discussed like 5 of them. And I think it's up to you to really come up with a way to find out what's contextual to your industry and to your target market. Like training videos, online courses. Like, we're going to turn this into an online course, like a 21 day lead generation. So you guys obviously getting it for free. We're not going to charge for it. it'll be free, but for a lot of people, like a lot of people would want it because we're only doing it on Instagram, but we're going to convert this into, potentially just a free online course for people. And if we add that value and they don't become clients or customers, then so be it. That's good. That's our way of, sharing some goodwill. And so I think with that said, there's some ideas on what kind of lead magnets you can use for your business. Just make sure it's contextual and 100% based on your target market and what they really want and what they really see as value. But sometimes what you see as value, they don't see as value. And remember that. So I'm going to leave you with that. All the best and have a wonderful rest of your day.